What's wrong? Okay, close the door, honey. You close the door. Turn off that light. Thank you. Right. Hello, good morning. Good morning. It's High Priestess Jamila. I won't be here long discussing this because I really like to get some readings done today. I wanted to talk about Othello syndrome and how it could potentially ruin your life if you're not careful. Hello, Martine. Hello. So Othello syndrome is this is exactly what it is. Let me tell you exactly what it is. Okay. So Othello syndrome is pathological jealousy, also known as morbid jealousy. Othello syndrome or delusional jealousy is a psychological disorder in which a person is preoccupied with the thought that their spouse or sexual partner is being unfaithful without having any real proof, along with socially unacceptable or abnormal behavior. So that what this is when you are with a sexual partner or your spouse and there's constantly somebody else, constantly. Either you're cheating on somebody else or you want to cheat with somebody else, even though you haven't. Which means that a person with that disorder, they could really ruin your life. Can you imagine somebody that's constantly thinking that you're cheating? A person that constantly thinks that would probably also respond with abnormal social behavior to where they would possibly either flirt with other people pathologically, or they would constantly cheat, thinking that their spouse is cheating, or they would possibly, um, kind of act out publicly because, they're thinking that you're cheating and you're not. I was wondering how many of y'all partners could possibly have this and what it's really like to deal with a person that's like this. And how, they say that insanity is catching. So as soon as somebody accuses you of cheating, the first thing that you're going to think about is that they may be cheating or thinking about it. And so then the partner is going to become a part of that delusion as well. I wonder sometimes, where do all of these mental disorders come from? Where do they actually come from? Because in my humble opinion, this could possibly ruin your life on some level, whether or not it ruins your life temporarily or permanently. Okay. This had I immediately thinking of my brother in law. Something so strange happened and we can't understand it. What happened? Please do share, because I have seen people that I believe have this. As far as Othello syndrome, it's basically what it is that it's jealousy. It's really intense jealousy over a delusion that doesn't even exist. Doesn't even exist. It's especially when you have a partner that all of a sudden they think you're just sleeping with everybody, just everybody. You slept with everybody. Okay, you can't even talk to nobody. You can't even have a social experience. You can't have a YouTube channel. You can't have a business because everybody that comes to the business, you could potentially cheat with them. I think that it goes beyond insecurity, because I believe that people that go through this are actually delusional at the same time. Like, you would have to be a delusional person to think some of the thing, and it's usually outlandish. Jealousy over somebody that you've never seen or spoken to before, or even spoke on the phone with them. You haven't even, there's been nothing there, but yet their intuition and their brain is telling them that you're either sleeping with them or either you're going to. Or, for example, social media. I know that for me, I have thousands of friends on my Facebook, thousands, okay? And I don't know any of those people hardly. Like, maybe 10 of them total is who I actually know. So when you have that many friends on Facebook, they're going to inbox you, right? They're going to inbox you. They're going to try to talk to you. If you had a partner that was abusive to you, or all of a sudden, with that understanding of a person with a business that is, networking in social media, why would you think that there could be the possibility of them cheating, especially if they're doing it to earn their paper? Why would somebody think that that meant anything? So why would it cause an argument that could possibly last for several hours if a person knows that you don't know most of the people on your Facebook, and that you just add friends because of business purposes? Why would they think that just because that person inboxes you, that there could be a chance of you cheating, and then take away several hours of your life, of your time, arguing about this person that's insignificant, that is in your inbox? They're insignificant. Why? Because you don't know them. And then all of a sudden, there's, the whole demeanor changes in these types of people. They are very loving. They just started working on spiritually and awakening. And out of the blue, he takes a drink and shot a gun at her after visiting with new neighbors. What? Are you for real? Oh my God. Can y'all believe and you know what? What I was reading about this disorder is that it actually can be, it can be caused by, uh, it may appear by itself in the course of paranoid schizophrenia, alcoholism, or cocaine addiction. So does he drink on a regular basis? Wow. You know what? I believe that a lot of these problems, these mental problems, I believe that they were created, not necessarily discovered, but created. And I think they can be created in people. Hello, Reggie. I believe that people, just in general, and this is one of the reasons why I stay away from people. I stay away from relationships because I seem to just attract the train wrecks and the Othellos. But it was one of the reasons why I went through domestic violence, why I went through um, loss of jobs, loss of income, hard times, struggle because of this syndrome. Um, the crazy part about it is that um, there are people in this world that will know that a person has a problem. Now, I've seen people, um, if they know a person has some sort of mental weakness, they'll play on it. So, for example, I was almost killed a couple of times in a relationship that I was because it wasn't just his friend, but it was everybody in his life that kept making him very paranoid about me cheating. They thought it was a game. They thought it was funny. Now they were doing it because they wanted to ruin the relationship in which they ultimately did. By the way, guys, he passed away recently, and his funeral was last week. Um, Now I wasn't. We men, it had been like we had broke up like so many years ago, but I was thinking about it because I remember when we were together, he would go somewhere and be around people, and then he would they would mess with his head because they wanted to mess with the relationship, and this is why you're supposed to have trust in relationships, but obviously that's not what happens. But, I was physically assaulted on several occasions because people would mess with his head about me. And I don't, you know what? It's not a coincidence why that keeps happening to me specifically. It's not a coincidence that people go and mess with my partnerships, with friendships and everything, not just love relationships, but friendships. Um, Yeah, it's kind of happening right now a little bit, but not really. It, they would go and mess with him, and then I would have to spend all night either arguing, getting physically assaulted, or some other disaster happening to me. And I think that, why I think that people do this? I think that people will trigger a person's Othello with a specific purpose in mind because they know that it's going to upset your day. They know that it's going to mess with your partner, that ultimately it's like their mind is not strong enough to withstand it. That's one of my biggest pet peeves or that's one of my pet peeves when someone else tries to sabotage or manipulate a relationship. This happens everywhere. Well, and you know what? I've noticed that a couple of my kinships on YouTube are being manipulated because people think it's funny to see me get harassed or stalked in social media. Appreciate it, Smokey. I can tell, yeah, yeah, that would make it comfortable. Absolutely. I don't know. I think that everybody has their own specific special situations. So, sometimes being alone is not an option, especially when people won't leave you alone. People that do that are trying to sabotage you. I think that, and you know what? There was actually a movie about this. I don't know if it was specifically related. I haven't seen it in years, but what is up with this thing to where people will be able to see a weakness and they'll just use it, and literally 2 days of your life gone. 2 days of your life just gone. Okay. On a Thursday, somebody goes and says something, or either sometimes the partner can just be delusional. And then for days and days and days, and some people are worse. I hate you. I want you to die and starve because I believe that you cheated. I believe you cheated because cheating is pretty horrible. Cheating is pretty horrible. It is. It's terrible, especially when you're in love with somebody and and they're sleeping with somebody else like that. That just, ooh, I could just imagine. Trying to sabotage somebody because of it. Nah, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to try to sabotage a person because of that. But I've noticed that, I've been sabotaged and in situations where my life had been devastated because my partner thought I was cheating and I wasn't, and completely flipped my whole world upside down. This is one of the reasons why I've struggled with being a woman. I have. It's made me struggle with being a woman. It's made me not really like being a woman because society automatically puts you in a position where, you're supposed to be under a man. So if you are a woman and this man has any power or control over you, and he thinks and he has this disorder, then you're going to possibly spend a lot of your time in turmoil, arguments, and possibly worse, Yeah. How do you actually deal with that though? Can you imagine being in a position where you have bills that are due, but who cares that you have bills that are due? You're a whore, you're worthless, you're cheating on me. So I am going to underhandedly and outwardly do things to be disrespectful to you or to make life harder on you. That's what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to try to create a financial pitfall in your life because you're a whore and you cheated on me, or you're doing something else. I think Othello can be you. It don't even have to necessarily be, I think you cheating, but I think that you, I don't think you, I don't, I can't trust you. I don't think that you, whatever, and will make your life a living hell. And see, I've noticed men, I don't live with a man at all. There is no man that lives here except for my son. I do not trust or depend on men because of this. Extremely devastating um, person in your life that would either beat you up, vandalize your car, um, just try to create this entire situation based upon their delusion, in which that they have no proof at all. It just comes out of the blue. You know, no, you're not blocked. I'm just not answering the messages because listen, I don't have support in paying my bills. I have to do that myself, and most people know that. I don't get help from the state. I don't get help from my parents. I make my money by being a tarot card reader and a witch. And I have had nothing but people being disrespectful, being manipulative, and this has made my life harder. And they knew it would. They knew it would make things harder for me. And I kind of think that you might be one of those people. That I do. So that's why I've been ignoring your messages. Um, it's so difficult. It really is, especially when people know about stuff like this and then all of a sudden, this disorder is being used. I believe that people can take any disorder or sickness and they can convince other people to eat that they either have it, or they can cause those people to go through those symptoms. Do I think? I think that it's worse than that. I think it can be worse than that. This delusion that people can have, and I think that and see, this is the reason why I do not date. I was and I'm being reminded of it all the fucking time as to why I just keep to myself. I don't get involved with people because of things like this. And this, especially for some reason, Othello syndrome affects all of my partners. All of my male sexual partners, it seems like this particular syndrome affects them really bad. To the point where it's like, this isn't a coincidence. And then when you're in a world where they tell you that you should be dependent on men, y'all know how it is. If you are in a relationship, if you hook up with somebody, okay? Thank you, Reggie. If you hook up with somebody, by the way, guys, send your donations to my Cash App. Okay. You know, when y'all send me donations through the super chat, I don't see that until a month later. And then YouTube takes 40% of it. So just make sure when y'all donate to my Cash App. But thank you anyway. Thank you. This is why I don't depend on my partners, especially when it comes to men. If a man thinks that you're cheating, or if a man thinks that you're a hoe or a O, and he don't like that, and he feels that hoes don't deserve no kind of loyalty or respect, how can you actually depend on them? You can't. You can't. You can't depend on them. So what's a tram? You know, I'm not a dark person because I just mingle with everyone I really don't know. Past traumas. That's what she meant. Traumas. Past traumas is what that is what she was trying to say. I think. Wasn't you trying to say that, Martinet? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I feel this. Oh my God. Girl, I feel like we sisters for real. Because why do, and literally, like, they will try to devastate your life to get back at you over something that doesn't even exist. Your whole life will be flipped upside down because of it. Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, and it's literally, first of all, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I believe that when people usually do cheat, they're usually in like a low vibrational state. So if you're being accused of cheating, or if you're being accused of something, even if you're being accused of doing something behind a person's back, you can have Othello syndrome with your friends. Your friends can be delusional and, you know, have these delusions set up around the friendship that don't exist. And then they'll start doing things to underhand, you know, they'll start doing underhanded things. Or, like it says, unacceptable social behavior will start to come out of folks like that. Um, Especially if it's a man that thinks that he should be able to see as many women as he wants, and, you know, those women should be faithful to him. It should only be him. So if he already has those kind of ideas in his head, because I personally feel like a cheater should never expect no. Why you're a cheater? Why would you expect somebody to really be faithful to you when you're cheating yourself? Right? That don't make no sense. That's why I don't even do open relationships. I don't do it. Seems like that problem seems to follow me around. Um, the second time, it's happened to me twice. The first time, my doors was getting kicked in, holes being punched in my walls. physically assaulted, threatened to be murdered over a person that doesn't even exist, over another relationship supposedly that I'm having with somebody that doesn't exist. So I've been there. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I could see why. Like, especially if you with somebody that's doing stuff like that, I would eventually not even say anything. But I think that if you don't say something, they may flip out on you and possibly embarrass you publicly or either attack you, either verbally or physically. If you're dealing with a male witch, you know, he may do death magic on you in an instant. You know, oh, I want you to die. I remember a few years ago, I had a love interest that got angry at me because he thought I was talking to somebody else and he wished death on me. And I started to get sick a few days later. And I was like, what the hell? I wasn't feeling well. I started having preoccupied thoughts of death and me dying. And I realized that he had spoke a curse on me by wishing me death. He had wished me dead over something that wasn't real. And then I started to get sick and I reversed it and then felt instantly better. And I had forgot about it. I had forgotten about it and went on and wasn't tripping off of him, wishing death on me. And so it wasn't like my mind created the symptoms that I was feeling. Literally, I started feeling the energy of me dying, which must have been coming from him because of something that was not even real that I was being accused of. And so I had to die. You must die because I think that you've done something. So that's interesting, Martine. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. That somebody would actually pull out a gun and shoot at somebody. Like, I feel that whoever that is, they're probably in danger, even though that person didn't shoot them that day. How do you know that this person is not going to become delusional one day and do it again? How do you know? And a person that thinks that you're doing something behind their back, they're going to react in different ways. They're going to react in different ways. And I noticed that these people, they're so delusional that they will network around and contact people that you know and make them paranoid too. So then the next thing you know, everybody is against you. You're the devil. You ain't did nothing right. You've done something wrong and you have done nothing. You've done nothing. It almost leads you to a place where you almost have to cheat, especially especially when people are saying, hey, I can see this person is doing this, this, and that. And I can see that this person is actually putting that above your needs, your need to eat, food, your need to survive. So they start to try to mess with your ability to survive. That's why they stalk you at work, and they go live and disrespect you and start arguments with you and, start arguments with trolls with you, yeah. Yep. Yep. And literally nothing has happened. Nothing. You've done nothing to them. You've said nothing about them. In fact, people that make being treacherous a priority, because there are some people that make being treacherous a priority. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that handle business. I don't go and do things that are not going to serve my purpose in some kind of way or help me. And so when a person starts to do that, I'm going to start an argument with you publicly and I'm going to start beef with you publicly. I'm going to disrespect you publicly. I'm going to make you feel some type of way. And I don't care about the consequences. In fact, I don't, they'll do things that can potentially devastate you. That's why you have to be prepared to survive on your own. And you know what? I believe that every single partner of mine is never going to trust me. Like it's not even worth it to even pursue it because they all go through this. They start out normal and then for some reason, and I'm thinking, is there a spiritual reason behind Othello syndrome? Are they getting the whole Othello from maybe some sort of mythical character? We may have to look that up. We may have to look this up. Okay. Like I said, not I don't believe that it can just be love partners that have this issue. I believe that it could be your friends. Your friends one day and then all of a sudden some sort of delusion sets in. And then all of a sudden you're doing something to them that you haven't done, but they think that you're doing it. And then they decide that they're going to try to sabotage you because you've done something that doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden they think that, this it has any bearing on your life because to be honest with you, the only relationship that actually matters is your relationship with yourself and God. Any outside sources, especially if they begin to become harmful to you, in my humble opinion, are not that important. So that's when you have to buckle down and you have to say, look, your delusion, and then also your delusion of grandeur is if this takes priority over every damn thing else. Everybody has to stop what they're doing. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't do nothing because all of a sudden you're doing something that doesn't even fucking exist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, well, it's all based upon their feelings of self. Absolutely. But I think that adults need to start acting like adults and they need to stop doing things to sabotage other people. Okay. If you think that a person can't provide to you what they want or what you want, then walk away. If you feel that this person falls short of what you believe is kosher, then leave them alone. You still don't have the right under any circumstances to try to manipulate. And that's what we have, a lot of paranoid, delusional people making up delusions in their mind. Also the delusion of grandeur. That's what a grandiose thinking is when a person thinks that they and their problems takes priority over everybody else's, over things that are more important. So instead of us focusing on what is important, we have to focus on this delusion that doesn't even exist. It don't even exist. And no, you don't have the right. People will say that you have that oh, karma is coming. I wouldn't. Why would the universe even co-sign karma that doesn't exist? You're getting karma for what? I've seen people. I've seen complete strangers attack me because they were delusional, and I must have done something to them, and you're going to get karma for doing this to me. What? No, I'm not going to get karma for doing something to you that I didn't do. It doesn't exist. You're in a delusion. And that's crazy that these people actually think that they have the right to do this to people. And when it gets done to them, okay, you're trying to interfere with my ability to survive, then that's when I feel that you have the right to throw it back at them. Absolutely. I think that people with Othello syndrome, I think that have y'all absolutely can get cursed. Don't get it twisted. I am still a witch. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm discussing something that is of a medical nature, but I am still a witch. You do anything to me, especially something based upon a delusion, I'm coming back at you. And you're going to think, oh God, you're trying to mess with my stability and security. Well, you messed with mine. So I'm going to do it back to you. And then also the grandiose delusion, I honestly, years ago, guys, I began to claim to be a lesbian in social media. I'm not actually a lesbian at heart. I'm actually really into men. Have only experimented and it wasn't, yeah, it was okay, but it wasn't, ooh, I've changed my whole life. I'm changed. No, no. So I'm not a lesbian. But I think that I'm gonna tell you, I have seen women do this for protection, especially spiritual protection. I have seen women do this, claim to be a lesbian so that they can be in the goddess energy, so that they can get something done, so that they can protect themselves because men, okay, and especially the ones that I've dealt with personally, they believe that they have the right to control every aspect of your life based upon if you're being a good girl or a bad girl. And so this is one of the reasons why I've said, you know what? I'm a dyke. I swear to God. You know what? Because and I get so irritated. I get so irritated with it, with these delusional, psychopathic men that, first of all, I take care of myself for this reason. This is the reason why, right here, because they are so delusional, so delusional. I had this woman call me a couple of years ago. She said that she had went to work. Her man was, and he didn't work. He didn't even have no job. Go figure. Do you know that while she was at work, this man took all of the food in the refrigerator, freezer, and deep freezer, threw it all in the trash, left, went to his auntie house. She had worked like a double shift. Like she said she had been at work, came home, everything was in the trash. She said she went to the refrigerator to get something to eat, and he had literally emptied the refrigerator. And I was seeing where narcissistic men, because there was a woman that did an interview about her husband being narcissistic, because women, believe it or not, women are actually trying to make being a narcissist illegal. They're ready to be able to prosecute these men in court for the things that they've done. So this woman that was married to this extremely controlling man, he wasn't physically abusive to her, you know what I'm saying? But he was psychologically and emotionally abusive. He had left town. Okay, he had left town, and he was supposed to leave her money for groceries. She had 3 kids. He had left town and didn't make sure that they had food. So her husband, she was married to this man. Okay, you know how they say that being married just fixes everything? Oh, well, I'll be perfect to you if you're married to me. Even though I just beat you up last week, we'll be perfect, if we were married. You know what I'm saying? Because My ex used to say that to me, and he actually proposed marriage to me. We were only engaged for like a month, and I knew that I couldn't stay in that relationship, or I would have an extremely hard life. Which he made sure that he made things harder on me anyway, even after we broke up. Um, but you know, yeah, they will do stuff like that. They will try to, men have a tendency to where they will try to take your resources from you, stalk you at work, spread rumors, do smear campaigns. Some of them is lighting up candles. You need to be punished. You can't watch TV. You can't do anything. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You can't flourish. I don't want you to benefit because you did something to me. What you did, no one has no idea because you've done nothing to them. Nothing. I've been through this. And I'm going to tell you something. Women have to be protected from this. I'm going to tell you right now what this is about. For the past 2 to 3 days, one of my exes has been trying to make sure that my lights get turned off. Knowing that the light bill is due, knowing that I need to earn money. No, instead he comes online and see, this is what irritates me about exes. I don't care about what you're doing. Go flirt with a hoe. Go flirt with 2 hoes. Go flirt with 3 hoes. Go flirt with 5 hoes. Go flirt with 10 hoes. Why should I care? What does that have to do with me? But instead, energetically, he's able to conjure up this energy of judgment towards me and will make me look bad. I don't know how a woman looks bad because a man is cheating. How is that the woman's fault? Okay. Women, women hoes that they'll come back and they'll say, "Oh, your man cheated on you. Oh, your man was flirting with me." Is that supposed to make me feel or look bad? So this man, knowing that my light bill is due, will come online and wanted to do it now. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you something. I got all kind of trick bags. I got all kind of tricks to bring in money. So I know how to do the damn thing. So honestly, I'm not worried about it. But it's just the point. It's just the point that you would try to have that kind of impact on somebody's life in a negative way. And he's okay with it. He said he hopes that my utilities get turned off. Why? What did I do? Nothing. I have done nothing. Literally, on Thursday night, I began getting attacked and I had done nothing wrong. But at the same time, God was testing me at the same time. So men like that, or even women like that, they have no power or no control over your life. Okay, so I'm not freaking out like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, I already know that it's taken care of. He wanted me to have obstacles in paying my bills. He wanted it. But for some reason, this makes them feel better about some person that you've done nothing with. And this is the reason why I don't depend on other people to pay my bills. Yeah. So I just recently had this happen. This sick person that needs mental help and all the other sick people. If you have been watching this man and judging me because of this man, you are sick. You are sick yourself. And I spoke about it the other day because he's been able to bring about judgment and make me feel totally awkward and out of place. He's been able to make me feel unacceptable, like I am somehow wrong, even though I have done nothing to him ever. And this is the reason why I got upset Friday morning and I decided I'm going to exploit him a little bit. Let me exploit you a little bit so that you can know how it feels. You need to know how that feels. You need, and he is going to have to suffer the consequences and the karma, not me, because he is consistently brought negative karma to YouTube, and I'm sick of it. He tried to consistently make things harder. But you know what? As a woman, as a real woman with strength and willpower, he won't succeed. Now, how do you look at a person like that again that would do that? You see why there's so many women out there saying, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. And these men, they will say, oh, well, you're a gold digger. Oh, you just want a man for his money. No, there have been so many women devastated by trying to be in real love. Oh, no, I really love you. No, instead of just getting the paper, getting the bag, get his money. A man that's doing stuff like that, he needs to be paying everybody's bills. But he's not. Instead, what he'll do is he'll try to create financial pitfalls in your life, and then he'll sit there and go, you see, that's what you get. I think I would show up, and I think if a man was, I think it would be very dangerous for a man to do something like that to me, because I would find a way to your house and I probably beat his ass. That's why spirit don't let nothing like that go down with me. That's why, I kept telling them all weekend, why do you keep doing this? Are you trying to stop my bills from getting paid, baby? My spirits, honey. I work with some awesome spirits. I bet you a lot of you women out there are going through that. Some crazy man trying to do that to you, and then it'll be like, oh, well, you're a bum, you're a loser, it's like, well, no, I'm not, but you are you're definitely losing, buddy. You're losing your mind, and you cannot allow people to do this to you. I've had my lantern going, okay, all weekend for that. And how do you even look at a person that does that? Can you imagine being married to a man, or being with a man that literally she came home and her husband had thrown all of the food in the garbage? She was like, all my ice cream was melted, everything was warm. So you could tell that he had done it purposely. Well, of course he did it purposely. He took everything out of the refrigerator, literally everything. The butter, he had taken the bread and emptied it into the trash. This woman had 3 kids. And why are men still regarded? Because why is it always a man that does it? Is a woman gonna throw away all of the food? Women ain't gonna do that. You are not gonna catch a woman that's gonna go in her refrigerator and just decide, I'm gonna pour out all this milk, all this juice. I'm gonna take all of the, he had taken all of the meat out of the package and emptied it into the trash can. That's what he did. This is no cap. What kind of man does that? And then how do you look at him again after that? She didn't leave him. They had worked it out. I'm guessing what he did was he went to the store and replaced all of the food in the refrigerator. I would think that a person that's psychopathic enough to do that, I kind of wouldn't trust the food that he bought. Like, I mean, you already tried to make sure that we starve to death. How do I know that you wouldn't poison the food? Because you're crazy. You have a mental problem. Hey, odds are, yeah. And people like that are extremely dangerous. If you're not careful, they will mess you up. I'm just telling you. They will try to sabotage you. I've had men trying to sabotage me, especially the past 5 or 6 years. They will never be able to do it. I can promise you that. Well, the first thing that I can tell you, ladies, is that if you have a light bill or gas bill or any kind of bill that's due, and let's say that he does something ornery, like, I don't know, rob you so you can't pay it. If you came to me and said, Jamila, he did that to me, I would say, call your utility companies and tell them what happened and let them know that, you're dealing with, a mentally ill person that's, and let them know, and they'll probably give you some more time on it, is what I would suggest for people to do in that situation. Um, because, usually when it comes to that, and so, people like that, they think that when they're doing that, they're actually hurting you. But in reality, you're hurting a lot of people. You're hurting the economy. People like that are an absolute drag on the economy. They usually don't have jobs or any kind of actual real way to earn money. So they sabotage others that do. They don't have any responsibility. They don't. It's not their responsibility. So they don't care. They completely go nuts and lose their mind and do stuff. And see, I believe that I believe that people that do stuff like that, they got that karma coming. The karma that they tried to create for you will be their own. But I think that you do have to use witchcraft. You have to light some kind of candle. You have to do something. You have to write it down. You have to write. You cannot, people just don't automatically get karma, guys. They don't. It happens sometimes. It depends on what they did. Eventually, it'll catch up to them, especially if they're doing something in private or in secret. I know but somebody doing something like that when they are actually trying to um, disturb the balance or actually hurt somebody and their children by, trying to interfere in with their ability to support their children. Okay. If somebody is doing something like that, you have to act fast and you have to send that energy and information back. You have to send all of that negative karma back to them. And you have to make sure that trust me, I am very, very good at this. I can promise you that when they do stuff like that, it's going to backfire. And you know who else I work with? I work with Lord Ganesha. Lord Ganesha has been my right hand man for years when it comes to any of my financial situation. Because you know what I also noticed? I also noticed that when people are afraid financially of their own financial situation, they'll come and they'll project it onto you, especially on YouTube. They will. It's sad, but it's the truth. So if you ever have anybody, because I've had them trying to do it for years. I've had people like that trying to do it for years, you know, and they've never succeeded. Not actually, not when it comes to the financial aspect of the situation. I had issues with one of my utilities years ago in 2015, but it was only because I had switched my account to prepaid, which it was weird because I shouldn't have done it. I didn't have to do it. But at that time, I was just getting used to being an entrepreneur and having a witchy business. A lot of us witches, our witchy business is going to be not dependent on, because there's always emergency avenues. Your spirits always have something they should. They should, for that kind of disastrous person that's crazy, that is an opportunist. Some people, if they see that you could be in a vulnerable situation, they'll take it as an opportunity. They'll go and they'll think about it. They'll say, hey, I can do this because I want to feel powerful. When in reality, they're weak is sin. They're very weak people. And we calling them out right now. But when you have those kind of challenges that come up, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all have challenges because of people like this. You can't tell me. Then you have to be able to look to your spirit guides and your ancestors, and they are absolutely going to lead you to where you need to be. And people that do stuff like that, see, especially men, you know, I watched them do it. I watched them from the inside, knew what a situation was about, and then went and purposely tried to bring down my energy so that I would go through some kind of financial pitfall or some kind of emergency, to where, you know, I would be faced with having my utilities turned off. Because after all, you know, these people feel that they're very powerful. It would make them feel like they have the ultimate power of Thor. You know, if they can make a woman's utilities go off. Yes, I'm powerful. Yes, yes. And then they deal with somebody like High Priestess Jamila and they get their assholes handed to them. And you know what? That's a specific secret coded message for that person that tried to do that. This is one of the reasons why a lot of women, and I'm starting to become that way, please don't do it. A lot of women, when they regard men, you're just an ATM machine. That's it. You got some money? Got some money? Well, then get out of my face. That's why women get that way. That's the reason why. And then especially being that men try to pretend that this is their world and we're just here to serve them and be their cows, you know, which that's not the truth at all. You know, this is everybody's world. But yeah, you know, this is the kind of crud that we're dealing with in society. It's very weak, very, very weak for a man to do that. And you peep their smitty, when they find out, they pretend that they care about you and they pretend that they're doing something that's supposed to benefit you. But you know, but then they go and they take the information that they have, come online and try to further manifest some kind of financial calamity in your life. Oh, please believe that. I'm gonna tell you something. If you talking to your divine spirits, and then, oh yeah, thank you, odds are always talking about submit to me, and you won't have any water or gas or food. Submit to my will. You need to be submissive to me. No, what I need to do is start charging you at the door. Okay, every time you come visit me, it need to be $300 because I know you gonna bring a bunch of demons with you. Then you want to sage your house because they done bought something over. They done bought something over to your house. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I've actually had this person do this. I've had the same person do the same thing to me previously. And of course, you know, what he tried to do didn't happen, but it's just insane because, you know, they're furthering this agenda that all of us are trying to work against. Trust me, women, if you've ran into men like this and you're the type of woman that is not just, you know, looking for a man, because we're all women, you know, and men like that, they want to make you codependent on them, you know, which is why they'll do things for you in the first place, which is sick. That's not, you're not being a man. You're not even close to what anybody would consider to be man, honestly. But I've had them do this to me, and literally my spirits, not only did they come through for me, I'm telling y'all, to make sure that you believe in your spirits. Not only did they come through for me, but they also slapped him in the damn face real quick. So yeah. And with that said, it's on and popping. I've got readings that I'm going to do because all day yesterday, all I wanted to do was readings for people. These types of men or these types of people that play these kinds of games because, um, I want you guys to understand that I'm always on top of it. My spirits are always on top of things. In fact, people that need quick money, like if people need like $200, if people need like $300, because $300 really ain't nothing. Utilities really ain't that expensive. Not nearly as expensive as your rent or your mortgage. Okay, unless you have let the bill go for months and months. But it's not that expensive. People will go to my website or people will just send me money and they'll say, please, send some blessings to me. And so my spirits always take care of those people. So we don't play games over here. Okay. And it's not about it being real magic. I mean, I'm very good at, you know what I'm saying? We don't just, it's not that we get lucky but luck is definitely a lot of times you do need those luck energies because people like that, they're purposely trying to wish bad luck on you, which is sad when who can respect that. Like if I were to ever do that to somebody else, I would be embarrassed of myself and ashamed of myself. I wouldn't be able but these people, their mind works differently. It does. It works very, very differently. They don't think that they should be embarrassed. Yeah. you know the embarrassment is now because I'm subliminally destroying these people, and I always will do it subliminally, magically. But when it comes to doing magic, I think that being the strongest is going to mean that you're going to be on top of things. You're going to be able to see things coming, even if they come a couple of hours, even if somebody, because what they do is they work at it every single day. I can see men in spirit trying to do magical tricks to mess with my money. They're doing it every day. Can you imagine when all of the dust settles, how I'm going to be on top and they're going to be destroyed? I see it coming. Trust me, because and my spirits will literally bring somebody to the edge of night and then bam. Okay. So it's and you know what? This is going to determine the difference between if you survive or not, because people will throw spiritual stuff at you, especially if you're in a witchy community and they think they got power, and the only power that they have is this maniac that goes live and calls people out of their name. Yeah, that they don't have much power. So get with the real power, y'all. Okay, is what I'm saying, because evidently there's been some people that have had lights turned off, gas turned off, water turned off recently, and maybe they just recently got those things turned back on, and they see me. I'm a person that consistently has my lights, gas, and water turned on. I don't have that problem. So then all of a sudden, when somebody, and then you can tell, um, I realized a lot. This new moon has opened my eyes to a lot, to the people that were pretending to be enemies, but are actually friends and working together. Yeah, I've seen a lot of BS. A lot of people that are working together, they will pretend to be enemies, but they're actually not enemies. But they have one thing in common: this agenda. And I can tell you that little old me, little old 5'4" me, I always send them on a loop. I take them down a downward spiral. They were asking what that spiral was about, what that spiral do. They did, you know what I'm saying? And and they'll say, "Oh, you're so cocky. You need to be humble. You cannot be humble during spiritual warfare." I'm gonna be humble to my spirits. I'm gonna be humble to them, but humble to you, never. On any day, I would never be humble to my enemy. They and they'll say, well, I'm a man and you a woman, and we supposed to be making love, and so you got to be humble to me. Why would I be humble to a pebble under my fucking shoe? You literally, if you are a man that's playing those kind of games, you are the lowest of the lowest common denominator. You are I'm sorry. You are somebody that, good Lord, um, you're going to need a person like that definitely needs guidance because I self navigate my life. That's why I don't depend on a man for nothing. And they'll even say, oh, I'm going to give you some money towards that. Instead of them giving you money towards that, you go live and start attacking me. You said, really? Uh, wow. And see, then and then you start to realize what works. I've had men saying, "Oh, that tarot business, that ain't nothing. She ain't doing nothing over there. Let us go over here and roast people. Let us go over here and laugh and have fun. And this is gonna be better." But in reality, I won. I checkmated them because in reality, what did make the money? What did make the money was my business. I was the one that got the money because of readings, because people want readings. Don't nobody want to hear that crap. Don't nobody want to, that's not helping nobody. And it's not helping the people that do it. Sitting around in a group talking about people, degrading people because you're mad because you don't have a house, lights, gas, water. You don't have anything. That's not going to lift you up. You're not going to somehow be super flighted to somewhere else. And then you're also not talking to rich people. Never said I was rich. I'm rich in spirit. You're not talking to the Queen Elizabeth. You know, I didn't make somebody else poor. I didn't take advantage of nobody, so I don't deserve what you're doing. So I've never heard of poor people attacking other poor people, but I guess it happens every single day. I don't consider myself to be poor ever. Okay, I think that we're all living paycheck to paycheck here, even me, and I run my own business. You know what I'm saying? Because the economy has been kind of weird. Those people will never prosper, and the negative seeds that they have planted are already dead. So what they'll do is they'll beat a dead horse. They'll go on and on and on and on and on. Okay. The person that you were in the past that had struggle, that person is gone. You've stepped into a new arena. So they're constantly trying to beat that dead horse awake, you know, which even, I mean, even when I was making less money, I kept my lights and stuff on. So I don't know where somebody, this is other people's struggles. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Even so you gotta, they can beat the dead horse, but who are you? Are you a person that can overcome that you can overcome all obstacles? Absolutely. Because that's an obstacle. You got bills due, and they do it at certain times. Because for me personally, I have these men doing it. They always do it right a week before the end of the month. They start harassing me, sending bad energy to me because they don't want me to be able to pay my rent. If they know that a bill is due, they'll go and it's like, what do you think my spirits are going to do to you just because? Like, can you imagine a person pretending that they give a damn about you, but then you find out that they're actually up to that? Can you imagine what just my wrath? Like, yeah, and I'm from the Midwest. My wrath will, because you hurt my feelings. Because we gonna deal with the feelings. We gonna deal with the feelings after we take care of business. I thought you cared about me, but instead you tried to use information and you tried to create this in my life, and you claim that you cared about me. That's when men will get wrath. I'm telling you, I think y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. Yeah, exactly. Kali Ma. And you know what? I think that it's gonna be some screaming banshees that's gonna be getting conjured too. That has got to be the most disgusting person that you could ever. And you know why they do it? Typically, they do it because they're not supporting themselves. A man that would do that, he's jealous of you. He's jealous of you. He's jealous of you and what you're able to do for yourself because he don't take care of himself. Somebody else does. Facts. Boy, look, I don't care if 10,000 people are bearing witness and thinking that you are powerful. You are not powerful. You are weak, period. And no woman is going to uphold your fake, false, so called masculinity in exchange for her not having no lights. I will stomp out your masculinity. I will destroy it. That's why Kali Ma is always depicted standing on a man's chest, standing on his solar plexus, because she'll knock you all the way back down where you belong. It's terrible, you know. So just to let y'all know, I'm not intimidated or worried about it. I can't believe that, I do believe that that information would be enough to possibly at some point take a person to court. That would be enough evidence to say, hey, this person was trying to sabotage me. This person knew. Well, everybody knows that everybody's rent is due at the first of the month, and they do it like the same people do it because they don't want you to be able to pay your bills. And it's sad. What kind of loser would do that? This is somebody that's going to always consistently lose, even when they are doing things directly to you. Yeah, I don't care if you got to somehow people like that don't have strength in numbers. Spirit has already destroyed them, literally. And I hope that they are suffering for what they have done. People that do stuff like that, and trust me, I ain't the only one that they're doing it to. And I know that some of you guys have went through that literally about a week before, and they'll try to sabotage you while saying, well, why you ain't got the money? Why you ain't got this? Why you why you ain't got no money? Why you worried about my money? Well, you shouldn't have been worried about my money because now you're going to have some problems. And whenever they get through, trust and believe that they're going to have some problems. So, we kind of got off the subject, but um, it does have something to do with morbid jealousy. People that are like that will sabotage their own mama. They'll kill their own mama out of jealousy. They ain't got no good sense. They're delusional. Right, exactly. Exactly. You're right about that. You're right about that. But what kind of monster would do that? Exactly. Exact. Well, and you know what? Here's the thing about it. Um, Once a person has shown themselves to you in that light, and then they decide, I'm not going to actually leave you alone, I'm going to continue, then you realize, I'm going to have to literally destroy this person. I'm going to have to destroy them. They have to be destroyed in some kind of way. Whether or not it is, mentally, spiritually, a person like that doesn't need to have any power. They don't need to have no respect. They don't need to have respect spoken on their name. They just need to be destroyed in every way. Well, and that's the crazy part about it, is that it's not that they're afraid of it. It's that they won't accept it. It's not like I just started doing this last week. I've been manifesting my own money for the past 5 years. And so they're jealous of it. They're still trying to figure out how I do it. How do you actually make a spell work? How do you actually make a money spell work? How do you actually make a reversal work? How is it that you keep giving me all this karma while I try to do things behind your back underhandedly? How do you keep doing this? Because they don't know how to manifest anything except for a lie. And they're very strategic with it and say, okay, well, I know this and this is going on. So this. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we're gonna make this happen. That's not real magic. That's a little uh, uh, um, uh, sick child, the sick child aspect of a person coming out of them. And this is a person that probably should be shunned and talked about in every kind of way. I would never do that to another person. I would never, ever do that to another person. And this is the reason why I have very good luck and why I don't have problems like that. This is one of the reasons why I don't have that problem. And it's just the reality of it. Yeah, exactly. They are going to get what they got coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said that's Loki. Huh, interesting. Interesting. You know what? They might be using that spirit because I'll be like, how do these people even have people that even go for this? Like, because that person, the same person, you think what they'll do is they'll try to send that karma to another person. In fact, they always have to have a sacrifice. They don't really do this by themselves. They always have to have a sacrifice. And the next thing you know, the people that they're using that trickster spirit on, or the people that they're doing that to, they are destroying people. Spirit it always comes back on them in some kind of way. Why not do things in a better way? Why not do things in an honest way? And for me, I could already see the treachery coming. And so, I said, look, if you're going to involve me with this, I might as well get paid for it. And then I got even, boy, they couldn't stand that. You're mad at me because I don't want to work for your sector for free, and it's crazy. And then when you realize that people that claim that they're enemies with people, they're actually not enemies, they're best friends. They're working together. And it's all about trying to destroy you, one person. We've all seen 50 to 60 to 100 people attacking one person at a time. And that one person has consistently destroyed all of them, destroyed their power, and made it through that. But then at some point, the person is going to say, I don't want to struggle. I don't want to deal with you. So now you're going to have to disappear from my reality. And if you can't disappear from my reality, then you may need to go ahead and disappear from this world. Exactly. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So, I'll be back for some readings if you guys want those. Make sure that you guys are at because I'm gonna go straight into readings. I'm actually running a special, which I guess what we can sometimes thank these people for is that you can get my readings at a discount. But even when they do that, it ends up being a blessing for me every single time. Every time, everybody can see it happening in real time what they're doing, and so it is what it is. Okay, so we'll be back for some readings, and just to let you guys know, I am running a special on readings. I'm doing great, Dr. Victor. So I'll be back with that because they're so jealous. They're so jealous of you making money that they feel that instead of them dealing with their problem, their mental problem of jealousy, they rather make it about you, and it makes them feel better knowing that you've went through something because of their jealousy of what you're doing and what your situation is. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it's really sad. These people that I've been, and these are usually the ones that are up in your face pretending to be your damn friend. So, y'all can ask me anything next. I'm going to do like mini readings for you guys, maybe pull a dark goddess card for y'all. Um, Make sure that y'all, yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, they lack everything, not just integrity. They don't have houses. They live with their mother and they know it, and they have no responsibility actually. And they're jealous of people that actually have that responsibility. These are people living at home with their mother, dependent on their parents. I'm not dependent. I ain't talked to my parents in years, but yet they always got something negative to say about me while they literally are being taken care of by other people, and you have to take care of yourself, and they know it, and they don't care. They feel better. This is the only thing that makes them feel better about, being codependent on others is by, you having your lights turned off. Like, don't you think that's a bit extreme? I gotta starve to death. My lights have to be cut off. All my utilities have to be turned off because you feel bad about yourself because you have to depend on your mama or somebody else to take care of you. And these are the type of people that are trying to get y'all money. I wouldn't send them a dime. They trying to get y'all money. They trying to get you to, they want you to go and buy spells from they people too. They want you to go buy spells from the people that they recommend. I can't handle it. Um, that's it. And this is the reason why I'm just gonna tell you that, when you're an apprentice, because I do have apprentices, I'm teaching them about magic, which definitely can help you survive. But I don't think people like that actually can survive on their own. And they are absolutely jealous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. They'll steal your videos. I know for a fact that my videos are being stolen, my readings are being stolen so that people can scam. I know that for a fact. And it just, I'm just looking at everything that's going on. And I'm telling you, there's been a lot of tarot readers on here where people have been stealing their videos too, stealing their videos, stealing their pictures, advertising readings, going in people's inboxes, begging them for money. It's sad, but it's the truth. And I'm sorry, the reason why people choose me as their witch is because, first of all, they can see that I've survived what other people would have never survived. I survived what could have destroyed me, but I didn't let it. And then also, I take care of myself. And so you notice how those people are always, they don't actually pay your bills. You know, but they're always willing to give you something because they feel that that gives you power. So I'm going to try to destroy you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to pretend that I'm helping you or being there for you when I'm actually not. But in reality, what I want to do is bring you down. And that's the reason why. So guys, that's the reason why you can't, don't, don't ever trust somebody doing free spiritual work for you. Y'all, please don't do it. I swear to God, is somebody offering you free spiritual work is up to no good. They gonna do a whole thing for you for free. You gonna get what you pay for, and you gonna probably get some bad luck with that. Okay. Hey, well, bless Jade. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Yeah, I'm telling you, and you really want to be above that. Just at the end of the day, just to let y'all know, the way that I operate, as far as the way that I manifest, as far as with money, the way I manifest the money that pays my bills, I've been very consistent and I've been very stable in my business. And I have always had food in my refrigerator. I have always had lights, gas, and water. The way that they're doing it is going to lead you to financial problems. So that's the reason why I told y'all the other day, this is where to go, not there. Don't go over there because they just want to bring as many people down with them. Especially if it's a spirit. Don't ever trust the spiritualist that's offering you free work, ever. They up to no good. If somebody's offering you something for free, that's just like going to the little old witch's house in the woods and she's giving you a poisonous apple because what she wants from you is not money. What that kind of witch wants from you is probably your spirit or your soul or your consciousness. That's what they want. Or either they just want to hurt you or they just want to, you know what I'm saying, do something negative to you. So that's why I said, witches, if you see us on here and you see us serious about our work and we're charging, that's how you can tell if a spiritualist is real or not, is by how much they're charging. Because spirits have a specific amount when it comes to the sacrifice that you're supposed to make. There's no such thing as cheap spiritual work. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for years. Hmm. And a person like that, that's also because there was a person that kept complaining about how much I charge. That person is not only being attacked by me, but is being attacked by several other real witches out there because us witches, we don't like for people to do that. You're trying to literally put us in a bad situation by doing that. And do y'all think that that's going to happen? I honestly ask yourself, there's no person, first of all, that person doesn't even have an inkling of power or knowledge when it comes to witchcraft. They have no power at all. Exactly. You get what you pay for. So, for me, I am a trailblazer. And I've opened so many doors for other witches. And, a witch that's saying stuff like that and doing that's not actually a witch. That's somebody that actually is working against witches. So be careful out here. I would never go to a person that says, hey, I can cleanse you for $100. No, I can't even protect you for $100. I can't even do protection for you for $100. That's not going to move anything. It's not. The saying money walks and bullshit runs the marathon. That's truly what it is. And it is the truth that the more money that you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. That is the truth about spiritual work. The bigger the sacrifice that you make, the better the outcome. That's why if you go on my Etsy, you will see a triple your money ritual. Now, a person that is already making 50, 60,000 per year, 70,000 per year, they would benefit from that ritual. You know how much that ritual is? For me to triple your money, for me to actually say, hey, you're making 70,000 now, I'm going to triple it. I'm going to triple your money to 200,000. I charge $3,000 for that. Why would I charge less than that? What makes you think that you're going to go somewhere and you're going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars? You're going to get $250,000 for free? Since when? Since when? When can you do that? Nowhere. Nowhere. And see, witches have made it happen. I know for a fact that Marie Laveau has saved, she either saved rich folks and their money or she either made folks rich. That lady was very crafty at money magic. She had a money mojo. They actually made a song about her money mojo, Marie Laveau. That's why I charge that much to a person that's actually making that amount. That's going to be a small sacrifice to what they're going to get back. So this is the reason why people have no problem investing $1,600. They know that it's going to double or either triple or quadruple their money. And see, back in, I think it was in 2018 was when I removed a generational hex. By the way, I want to say this to some of these ignorant spiritualists out there that are not actually spiritualists. You cannot put a generational hex on somebody. Stop it. Stop. Okay? Stop it. Now, your baby daddy could do that. Your baby daddy could put, or your husband, he could put a generational hex on you and your kids if he's doing something stupid. That can start a hex. We've got current generational hexes that people are currently being generationally hexed within their family because of either a man or a woman that don't have their spiritual shit together. Okay. Mm-hmm. To a person that is already making six figures, my clients, that those are my clients. Most of my clients earn six figures or more. I have a couple of seven-figure clients. Okay. They still need spiritual help too. So when you think about it, people that think like this, people that are my enemies, that call themselves my competitors, they don't think the same way that I do. They don't know what they're talking about. They think that if a person has a bunch of money, that means that it's all gravy. Well, no, people with a lot of money, they have spiritual problems too. So right off the bat, you can tell these people they ain't really had no money ever. Not really, because they think money is gonna solve everything. Well, if you're somebody like me that has clients that have money and a lot of it, you're gonna know that these people still come and get spiritual work done. Yeah, they have personal astrologers and they have witches too. They hire witches. In fact, there's been a lot of witches that have helped those people manifest what they manifested. So, and so when you go to Etsy, there's a $3,000 ritual on there. Yeah, that's how much that ritual costs. But to a person that doesn't, they ain't made 100 grand, they ain't made 80 grand, they ain't made 70 grand or 50 grand. They look at that and they go, oh my God, that's so much money. And it's like, well, I mean, okay, well then go to another ritual, go to the wishing well ritual then if that's above your pay grade. Okay. The thing of it is that I service all incomes. However, guys, and tell me tell me, listen, the last couple of clients that I had that were drawing unemployment benefits, they were the worst clients. They were the worst. They created so many problems and issues for me. I'm not saying that people, because there are a lot of people that are on unemployment and they still getting their hustle on and they off of it, right? They done got off of unemployment. No, and I actually have thought about it. I actually have thought about, as far as certain rituals or with my clients, find, certain things, because I'd say probably 99% of my clients have jobs or either their own businesses. Somebody that is codependent on something, their energy might be a little much for a person to deal with. Not downing people that are on that, because I have clients that may be on that. But most of my clients are not on unemployment. Most of my clients have jobs or either their own businesses. So I'm going to, hey, last year I learned to not interfere with custody battles. I will never do that again. That was a lesson learned. And I'm realizing that if certain people are in certain financial situations, I can't work with you. Mm-hmm. I can't work with you. Like it's and you know what? I am not offering services to get people out of poverty. That's something you're going to have to do for yourself. Now I can get you a cleanse, because you know what I'm saying? But poverty is poverty. Poverty is when you ain't got nothing. When you have nothing to speak of. Okay. There's a lot of y'all not impoverished. Y'all got money in the bank. Okay. Just like we all usually do. Okay. So, I can't deal with that. So it's got to be a certain person energetically. Poverty is caused by a spirit. That's caused by a spirit. That's a bad spirit that's over somebody. And that spirit, if that person is not strong enough to overcome that spirit themselves, they going to usually end up trying to bring you down. Hmm. So, I not to say that I am discriminating against people that are on unemployment. If you have unemployment, definitely get a reading, definitely, you know, but you see what I'm saying? This last person that threw me under the bus is because this person is on unemployment and jealous of me because I don't have to get those things. And so, in turn, let me attack this person. I'm single with no children. Let me attack a person that has more responsibility than me. And then they'll say, oh, well, I'm not even going to get deep into it. I'm not, because we're not even talking about that today. It is. It is. And it's definitely deeply embedded in the Black community, but it's not just the Black community. I've seen a lot of people but see, the problem with Black people is that they think that they don't have the right because they're Black to get out of poverty. So when Black people look at other Black people that have overcome poverty, they have a problem with them. Literally, I have a Black man in social media. He insists on showing this video of me from 5 years ago, from when I was having a hard time because I was being attacked and I was a brand new baby witch. For some reason, that makes him feel better about himself as a man because he lives with his mom and he don't have nothing. Hmm. So every day, every single day, and then his little butt buddies that are supposed to be real men, they're supposed to be checking him on it. No, instead they're working with them on it. Now, imagine how when you're a man and you're doing the bidding of another man, you're going to suffer probably the same fate as that man, because that don't have nothing to do with goddess, or it has nothing to do with Durga or what we're doing here. So people that made that decision, they crossed over into a world of pain, and they did it on the new moon. I was like, oh my God, are you, listen, you made the choice to be on the side of poverty on a new moon? Wow. I'm glad that a lot of us that were intelligent, we stayed on our left hand path. So please believe that they not gonna like where they going. Trust me. And if you see them continuously attack a woman with children, just know that they have no power. Exactly. Exactly. And with that said, I'm gonna go, guys. I'll be back in a couple of minutes to do some readings. I gotta do some meditations and stuff, and I'm gonna gather my cards up together and get them all together, the ones that I'm gonna use for the readings. But make sure that if you guys want a reading, because fortunately, very fortunately, my 60-minute readings are only $60. So make sure y'all take advantage of that. Cash at me, $ Jamila Briscoe. That special is not actually available on Etsy. So it's Cash App and Zelle only. Okay. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all later. Peace and love.